Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Rogue Wave podcast, the frequency for all things pop culture. We talk comics, movies, TV, and pop culture with the rogues who create it every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern, right here on Facebook.com/WeAreRogueMatter, Twitch.tv/WeAreRogueMatter, Twitter.com/Rogue_Matter, and, of course, our main station, YouTube.com/RogueMatter. We then take this video and turn it into the greatest audio podcast you've ever listened to. You can get it on all major podcasting apps. Join the movement. Go Rogue. RogueMatter.com. Tonight, I got my interview with Meredith from The Office. She is the roguest member of The Office, actress Kate Flannery. And that was at Fan Expo Philly. So once again, shout out to Fan Expo for making that happen. We are going to debate The Boys versus Umbrella Academy with a shocking twist midway through it. And we start off, however, talking about all the greatness that is on Rogue Matter. And it ties into some really great news. So without further ado, Rogue Matter presents, first of all, the latest episode of Badass Babes just dropped today, episode 8. So you get that podcast. Brenda and Megan interviewing some awesome talent every single week. Brenda is the head of her own talent agency out there, so she has just such a wealth of knowledge and experience, so go check that out. Then we have Tales from Tundo, which is also out today, and that is a companion podcast to Kingdom of Tundo. So they dive into episode 3. Bevan is the host of that. She is awesome at it. M.A. Del Rosario dives into the mythos behind each issue, some inside secrets. It's an awesome book. So as I kind of mentioned before, Kingdom of Tundo, number 3, just dropped today. And it is Myth and Magic Part 3, Conquest of Self. Bunao Dula fights his nemesis, his vengeful self. As he slowly regains his memories, so does he remember his sins, and he must face them all, including his brothers, to find his lost father in the undead lands of Sulad. If Bunao succeeds, it could tip the scales to his advantage. Again, it's a book that we at Rogue Matter have gotten to read prior to you guys checking it out. We are right in basically the cusp of the middle of the story. It's a 7-issue arc. And so pretty exciting stuff that it dropped. One of the things we like to do on this podcast is do comparables for you. So if you like a certain thing, you will like, what we have going on at Rogue Matter. And Kingdom of Tundo is epic fantasy. So what better comparable than Game of Thrones, right, Hassan?
Right. This is the first time you've introduced me, by the way, since you.
That is very true, actually. I went right through you.
Yeah. But
hello.
Nah, I don't want to say.
I didn't introduce myself either, so that's good. See? It's very fair, at least. Yeah, I am your host, Michael Goldman, as always, joined by the Lord of the Lateness himself, Mr. Hassan Godwin. How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing great. And yes, Game of Thrones. What better anything to compare anything to, especially something that's considered epic fantasy. So yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and just so happens, which is a nice little tie-in for us, that Game of Thrones news just came out that there is a spin-off sequel coming. Now, we all know the prequel's coming in August. Yes. So that's... Are you looking forward to the prequel? Because I actually am. I'm not going to lie. I've seen the trailers for it, and I'm kind of like, you get that, you get the music, the visuals, the graphics, you get like the tone, like the mood of it, and I'm kind of like, all right, yeah, I kind of missed you. Game of Thrones. I want to see some more.
Not to bore you with this answer, but I don't really look forward to anything because I've learned. It's better. It's better to say I anticipate it. I definitely will see it. I don't know if I'm enthusiastic about it yet or not.
Okay.
I don't think it shouldn't exist. I'm not one of those people.
No, of course not.
Soon. It's too soon and I'm not one of the people, even though, yes, I do acknowledge the last 2 seasons of Game of Thrones was highly problematic and divisive. I'm not, I'm not going to carry that over to this. So yeah. I am, I'm looking forward to giving it the respect it's due and giving it the opportunity to entertain me.
Yeah, I like I said, I wasn't a fan when I heard the announcement of the prequel. Because prequels to me are always there's already a strike against you in the sense that it's like, okay, we kind of know how the story ends already, or we know certain characters, we know who can come in and who can't. So there's a strike against you in my book just by that alone, because it makes it difficult to the sense of gravity to something. They really have to outdo themselves in order to make it, something. For me, this is my own take on it.
Yeah. I know. I don't dispute you. I understand what you're saying. It just, I don't know. It just goes to the theory that the story is only as good as its ending.
Yeah.
And a lot of times they're not.
Yeah.
So, it's like without giving the ending away, it's like saying I'm never gonna watch Casino Royale again,
right,
or Skyfall, because
mm-hmm.
I know how it all ends. So I mean, the ending's not the only thing.
Right.
Sometimes the journey is the thing. So
right. Well, that's what I'm hoping, and
yeah, if they emphasize the journey, and there is a journey, and it's not like, hey, remember this,
right,
and remember this,
right,
and look at the dragon.
Yeah.
If they don't do that, then they might be in good shape.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. But like I said, when I saw the actual trailers now on HBO, as I'm watching other things on HBO, I'm like, okay, like I kind of miss you, Game of Thrones. I do. I miss the world. I miss the world of Game of Thrones.
Yes, I agree. I'm not talking about you when I say this. I'm just I'm settling my expectations, because I don't think anything's gonna hit as hard as Game of Thrones hit.
No.
Because that was a phenomenon, and I just remember getting swept up in that. Like, what is this? Like, this. And I remember that first episode was like, nah, it's okay. It's kind of, it wants to be Lord of the Rings, but I don't think it's got legs.
Mm-hmm.
And then by episode 4, I am halfway through the second book. You know, so it was a profound. It had a profound effect on me, and I'm not gonna carry that baggage for the new one. I'm not gonna put that weight on the new one.
Mm-hmm.
I just want the new one just to be entertaining, but because it's not gonna ever come close to, not the show.
No.
It could beat the show,
right?
It pertains to quality and storytelling, whatever. This phenomenon's not going to be the same.
No, it can't. It can't. I know. It's like very rarely, and I love using music as an analogy. When you first hear that band, for the first time, right? That first album that really hits and really drops.
Yeah.
It's very difficult. Many bands can't do that.
Kids today don't know what you're talking about, though. Albums.
What's that?
An album? No, bands and albums. Kids today don't get it. They don't understand.
Don't worry, the kids don't listen to us. We're okay. We're okay. We're good with that.
Just for the random kid passing through the room while their grandfather is listening to our podcast.
Yes.
So they're like, Grandpa, what are you talking? What's a band? What is all this? So
I think we're firmly in the grandparents are now like super old kind of category. So I think that's above our demo. I think parents are exactly our demo. Like we are
rounding,
the Facebook
I'm
demo.
Rounding up.
We're the Facebook demo. I think that's right. Fair. But no. So one of the things, though, again, seeing these trailers made me miss the world and excited for the world. It makes me now even more receptive to the news that they're going to have a sequel series. Because again, I'm like, all right, this is kind of cool, and we're going to get Jon Snow, and that's kind of cool. So okay, but also Obi-Wan, which just came out recently. I've been hearing a lot of chatter. I've been reading a lot of chatter how it has helped get rid of the bad taste in the mouth, and I would count myself in there. That were the prequels, right? Having Obi-Wan have competent dialogue this time around, and having a much more like riveting plot. And don't get me wrong, Obi-Wan had a lot of holes in it as well too. Had a lot of issues, but it felt to me, that resolution between Anakin and Obi-Wan, the fight that happened. There's two fights really that happened, but the main finale fight, and warning spoilers for anybody, helped actually, for me, kind of reconcile that Hayden Christensen, he can be Darth Vader. Because when the prequels were over for me, I never could I couldn't picture Hayden Christensen and Darth Vader being one and the same. Hayden Christensen existing in Darth Vader's body. I felt like there were two separate characters, and they've always been. But that actually helped kind of merge it a little bit. It helped, wipe away the bad taste. So now I'm wondering, all right, Game of Thrones sequel series. What is that going to do to kind of assuage the negative reaction to the series finale that was season 8? We don't know, obviously. We can't know until we see it. But I'm much more receptive to it than I think I would have been originally. I mean, are you of the mindset that this could, in fact, kind of help ease that bad taste, so to speak?
Your preamble to the question answers the question, right?
Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah. Because, I mean, the last prequel was 20 years ago and people are still bitching about it. So, no. This ain't going to fix nothing.
It ain't going to fix nothing. All right.
Fix nothing.
So,
it's going to come out. People are either going to love it or hate it. It's going to take a life of its own. 30 years from now, people are going to still talk about those last 2 seasons. Listen, it's the thing. It depends on what you use entertainment for, right? Yeah. Some people like lore, like ongoing narrative, ongoing story.
Mm-hmm.
And the overall, the overall arcing lore that is put together out of, like, say, the MCU. There are people who are just Captain America fans, and there are people who are just MCU fans, right? So, there were people who are Iron Man fans. I just like the Iron Man movies, but so I watched the MCU as long as Iron Man was in it. As soon as Iron Man was gone, I was done.
Yeah.
And then there's MCU fans, right? There's Star Wars fans, and then there's Star Wars sequels fans, or Star Wars original trilogy fans,
sure.
Star Wars prequel fans. Who I happen to feel are, fly by night jackasses. But anyway, it doesn't matter. So it depends on the overall.
Would you wait? Hang on. I gotta ask you a question.
No,
In your
I'll be
opinion,
there. I'll be there in a minute. I swear I'll be there in a minute. I'm almost done. The Game of Thrones is the same thing. If you enjoy the overall Game of Thrones, the entire palette of storytelling and lore and characters and the aesthetic of it, and George R.R. Martin, being heavily influenced, then you're gonna get a kick out of all of this stuff.
Yeah.
Right? You're gonna love the prequel, and you're gonna love the Jon Snow sequel, whatever, and you're gonna forgive the original for how it ended, right? But if you're just one of these fly-by-nighters who are there for, for a night of entertainment, and who are, are into it because their friends are into it, or into it because it's a hip thing to be into, there's nothing wrong with that either, by the way.
Yeah.
Then, yeah, it's not going to cure anything.
Who do you hold more contempt for? The Star Wars original trilogy fans or the sequel fans?
I don't hold any contempt for any of those fans.
Well, you consider the original trilogy fly-by-nighters.
No, the people who are only fans of one genre, of one era of Star Wars, are fly-by-nighters, and those are always the ones who are vocal and mocking everybody for enjoying other. That's why I never mock people who enjoy the sequels. I didn't like them, but there are going to be millions of people who really enjoyed them, and they're going to be more and more vocal as time goes on.
Yeah.
So, like, to discount them is to discredit another entire facet of the of the phenomenon that is Star Wars. So I'm not going to do that. I respect them. I don't have to agree with them to respect them and to respect where they're coming from. But I mean, there are people, some of whom may be close by, who 20 years later is still bitching about a movie. That's what I'm saying. It's never going to go away.
What do you categorize as bitching? They go out of their way to
It's just, they go out of their way every opportunity that comes up, or every comparison that they like to make comes up, and they go out of their way to say, "Oh yeah, just like season 6 of Game of Thrones." And those guys are toxic a little bit, because it's not, they're into the trend of the discontent. It's not like they're wrong for being unhappy about it. But if they make it a point of every discussion to bring it up, then that's, they're just being trendy.
Nah, I disagree. I think as long as
I'm
you can
surprised you
absolutely
disagree. What an astonishing.
you can absolutely use something as long as the comparison is apropos. I mean, as long as you're actually
No.
comparing apples to
I
apples.
didn't say you couldn't do it. I said when they always do it. That's a difference. There's a big difference.
I don't
When
think we're gonna
they
need some
use
context
every
for that.
opportunity they can to do it, and for effect. They do it for effect. And
Your argument is as weak as the prequels. No, I'm just see. That was just me.
Wasn't an argument. It's
making a joke.
It's my perspective
That was
on
actually
it.
pretty clever. Sometimes
If you gotta say that your own joke is clever and
I
explain
astound
it,
even
Jay, then
myself
no,
with
it's
my
not.
level of cleverness. You see what I did there? Still got it. Still got it. All right. What do you
You're
guys
still
think?
by
Are you guys
yourself.
excited for the Game of Thrones sequel, prequel? Should they just leave well enough alone? Or are you just more excited for Kingdom of Tundo #3, which you can read for free right now?
Read Kingdom of Tundo and leave your comments for someone else. I'm not even going to read your comments. Just read Kingdom of Tundo. That's the relevant thing. That's the thing that's happening right now. That's what's going on.
It's on roguematter.com right now. So you can't go wrong with that. You can download the iOS app, Android app. Check it out. It's like I said, if you like Game of Thrones, if you like Lord of the Rings, for issue 4, we'll do a little Lord of the Rings comparison because I believe Lord of the Rings is going to be pretty big. It's going to take center stage at San Diego Comic-Con, so it's going to time in pretty good with all that stuff that's happening. But go check out Kingdom of Tundo #3. When we come back, Hassan and I will debate and discuss, gun to your head, which show do you choose? The Boys versus Umbrella Academy when we come back. Hi guys, Mike Dolce here from the Rogue Wave podcast. If you like this video, please feel free to like, share, subscribe, all that fun stuff. It really helps us out. Leave a comment, let us know what you'd like to see in future episodes, and tune in every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern for a brand new episode of the Rogue Wave podcast.